Hello friends, myself Subhash Nagarse from Sri Digambar Jain Gurukul High School, Solapur. I shall welcome to all of you in this session of 9th Mathematics Part 2. The topic is Basic Concepts in Geometry Part 3. Today we will discuss on conditional statements, converse of conditional statement, Euclid's postulates, theorems, proofs and problems based on this content. Friends, in the previous session of Basic Concepts in Geometry Part 2, we have been discussed with the following subtopics of this chapter, that is line segment, ray and line, congruent segments, properties of congruent segments, midpoints of a segment, comparison of segments, perpendicularity of segments or rays, problems based on the above content. Friends, today we will continue with conditional statement. Friends, we'll start with conditional statement. Conditional statement set up a conditions that could be true or false. These conditions lead to a result that may or may not be true. Conditional statements start with a hypothesis and end with a conclusion. So, the statements which can be written in the if-then form are called conditional statements. The part of the statement following if is called the antecedent and the part of the following then is called the consequent. For example, we'll consider one statement. A polygon having exactly 4 sides is a quadrilateral. How it could be written in the if-then form, we will see conditional statement. The above statement can be written in conditional form like that, if-then form. If a polygon has exactly 4 sides, then it is a quadrilateral. Let us consider one more example. The statement is congruent triangles have equal corresponding angles. The conditional statement will be if triangles are congruent, then they have equal corresponding angles. Friends, we will see the next converse statement means what? If the antecedent and consequent in a given conditional statement are interchanged, the resulting statement is called as converse of the given statement. For example, if this is the statement, parallel lines never meet, the conditional statement of this will be if two lines are parallel, then they are lines that never meet. So converse statement will become if two lines never meet, then they are parallel. Means after if statement, here will come after then in the converse, and after then whichever the statement is conditional, that will come after if. So this is the conditional statement and converse of that statement. If conditional statement is true, its converse is not necessarily be true. Study the following example. Conditional statement is like this. If a number is a prime, then it is an even or odd. Converse statement. If a number is even or odd, then it is a prime number. In this example, the statement is true, but converse is false. Euclid's postulates. Euclid was a teacher of mathematics at Alexandria in Egypt, popularly known as the father of geometry. He collected all his work in a book called Elements. This book is divided into 13 chapters and each chapter is called a book. So he is the Euclid. He gathered the knowledge of this geometry prevailing at his time and streamlined it. He took for granted some self-evident geometrical statements which were accepted by all and called them as postulates. He showed that on the basis of postulates, some more properties can be proved logically. Axioms or postulates. Axiom or this postulate are the assumptions which are obvious universal truths. They are not proved. So theorems are the statement which are proved using definitions, axioms, previously proved statement and deductive reasoning. In short, we can say that properties proved logically are nothing but theorems. So friends, here some Euclid's postulates are given below. Number 1, there are infinite lines passing through a point. You can see in the figure. Second, there is one and only one line passing through 2 points. In the adjoining figure you could see one line is passing through point A and B. A circle of given radius can be drawn taking any point as its center. See the figure. The radius are different but circle can be drawn. Fourth one, all right angles are congruent with each other as the measurements are equal. In the figure you can see these all three angles are there whose angular measure is 90. Those are congruent. And the last one, if two interior angles formed on one side of a transversal of two lines add up to less than two right angles. Two right angles means 180. Then the lines produced in that direction intersect each other. From the figure you can get the idea of this wording. See the figure. Here this angle AEF and angle EFC are less than 180. Means if you extend it, they are certainly intersecting. So these are the 5 postulates that has been stated by Euclid. Next we will see theorem and proof. A postulate is a statement that is assumed true without proof. A theorem is a true statement that can be proven. So what are some definitions we will see? Theorem, a property is supposed to be true if it can be proved logically. It is then called a theorem. Proof, the logical arguments made to prove a theorem is called a proof. Given part, when we are going to prove that a conditional statement is true, its antecedent is called a given part. The part to be proved, when we are going to prove that a conditional statement is true, its consequent is called the part to be proved. Friends, there are two types of the proofs. One is direct and another is indirect. Let us consider a direct proof of the property of angles made by two intersecting lines. How the theorem can be written, that we will see step by step. Here the statement is the opposite angles formed by two intersecting lines are equal measures. So this is the figure, two lines. So from that we can write the given that line AB and line CD intersect at point O such that AOB is the betweenness and COD is the betweenness. Then what you have to prove in the given, it is a part from that we have been written from the figure. Also will write to prove from the figure opposite angles, angle AOC and angle BOD are of equal measure, angle BOC and angle AOD are equal in measure. So let us start with the proof. First, angle AOC plus angle BOC, which is equal to 180, since these two are forming a linear pair and the angular measure of linear pair is 180. Second, angle BOC plus angle BOD, which is equal to 180. Here again these two are forming a linear pair, therefore their angular measure is 180. From 1 and 2 statements, the right hand side is same 180 180, so left hand side must be equal. Therefore we can write angle AOC plus angle BOC is equal to angle BOC plus angle BOD. BOC there is on both sides, so those get cancelled, and what left is angle AOC congruent with angle BOD, or measurement of angle AOC is equal to measurement of angle BOD. Similarly, similarly we can prove that angle BOC is equal to angle AOD. So it is a direct proof method. Now let us consider one more indirect method of proof. The statement is like this: a prime number greater than 2 is odd. So conditional statement is if P is a prime number greater than 2, then it is a odd. Friends, what is the given? P is a prime number greater than 2. That is 1 and P are the only divisor of P. To prove P is an odd number, let us start. Let us suppose that P is not an odd number. We have to prove an odd, but we are considering here that P is not an odd number. So P is an even number. If it is not odd means it is an even number. Therefore, a divisor of P is 2 since it is even. Statement 1. But It is given that p is the prime number greater than 2. Given what? It is a prime number greater than 2. It is given thing. Therefore, 1 and p are the only divisors of p. It will become 1 and p will be the only divisors of p. Statement 2. Statement 1 and 2 are contradicts, because in statement 1 what we are writing, divisor of p is 2, that is even. But here 1 and p are the only divisors of p. Therefore, these two statements will contradict. Therefore, our assumption is wrong, that p is not an odd, is a false one. Therefore, we can say that this proves that a prime number greater than 2 is odd. I think all of you understood. Let us see some problems that are based on the just what discussion one. Number 1 problem. Write the following statements in if-then form. First one, the opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. This we have to write in the if-then form. See, if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its opposite angles are congruent. If and then, we are using these two wording, and the same meaning we have been writing as a if-then form. Second one, the diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. You have to, when we would say parallelogram, rectangle, at that time you have to recall the figure and their properties that you already learned. So the above statement, the diagonals of a rectangle are congruent, can be written in the if-then form like this. If a quadrilateral is a rectangle, then its diagonals are congruent. Third one, in an isosceles triangle, the segment joining the vertex and the midpoint of the base is perpendicular to the base. See, if a triangle is an isosceles triangle, then segment joining the vertex of a triangle and the midpoint of the base is perpendicular to the base. Now we'll see one more problem. Write converses of the following statement. Here we have to write converse. The alternate angles formed by two parallel lines and their transversal are congruent. If the alternate angles made by two lines and the transversal are congruent, then the two lines are parallel. The converse means you have to start from last to first. In the reverse order, there should no change in the meaning of the given statement. Second, if a pair of interior angles made by a transversal of two lines are supplementary, then the lines are parallel. See, the converse will be, if two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal, then the interior angles formed by the transversal are supplementary. Last one, the diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. The converse will be, if the diagonals of a quadrilateral are congruent, then that quadrilateral is a rectangle. So I think till now you have been understood all the problems and the theoretical part, and what discussed today is conditional statements, converse of this conditional statement, Euclid's postulates, theorem proofs, problems based on the above content. I think you understood all the. You may try for these problems at the home. Write the following statements in conditional form. Angles in a linear pair are supplementary, and one more is, a number having only two divisors is called a prime number. Write the second problem. Write the converse of each of the following statements. If the sum of measures of angles in a figure is 180 degree angular measure, then the figure is the triangle. Means you have to show here the angular property of a triangle, but you have to write it in the converse statement. If the corresponding angles formed by a transversal of two lines are congruent, then the two lines are parallel. And the last one, write the antecedent given part and the consequent part to be proved in the following statement. If all sides of a triangle are congruent, then its all angles are congruent. Second one, the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So friends, you attempt them before leaving. The famous words by Pythagoras, you should not forget. There is geometry in the humming of the strings. Very nice. There is a music in the spacing of the spheres. So If you like this video, subscribe and share. With these words, I would like to say thank you.